Hello, Ram fans, and welcome to the Softball Ram Roundup, our first of the season. I'm with head coach Bridget Orchard. As always, Coach, somehow we are almost done with March already. It's a lot of softballs been played, a lot to come. The conference slate begins this weekend at Dayton. But first, let me get your thoughts on the out-of-conference schedule to date. We knew there was going to be a lot of turnaround with this program, a lot of new faces, and they're grading them. What do you think of the team's performance thus far?
We're excited right now. I think that we had a rough beginning of our season, which we kind of knew. We went out and played really good teams, top teams, which we planned on doing. So I think we're prepared going into conference season. We don't have the wins that we thought we were going to get, but we talked to the girls about that. We're not really worried about the wins and losses in the preseason. We just want to get the results going into conference season. So right now we don't have the wins, but I think we definitely got the experience now, and we had people switching positions. I think we got a pretty good set lineup going into Dayton.
What have you seen out of the responses to some of these new players coming in? They knew the tough schedule that you had in place, and obviously some struggles early, but definitely turning things around both in the circle, at the plate. What have you seen as a response from the new faces?
Yeah, I think they're getting it. I think they're getting definitely mentally stronger. Physically, they're getting stronger. They're able to understand different, pitch selections. They're understanding, the defenses that we're playing. Handling, playing behind our different pitchers. I think our pitchers are stepping it up, and they're getting a lot better as we get going on. We're facing some more mid-majors, but definitely saw them kind of more gelling as a team, even, and just understanding different positions. Like you said, we have people playing out of position. Maddie Shaw's taken over at shortstop, and she's done a great job there. And she's going to continue to get better. The more she plays, the more reps she has. Our outfield is definitely getting a lot better. Just seeing fly balls and just being on our field and playing outside. So I definitely think that it was a good preseason for us to get ready for conference.
Excellent, and conference play begins this weekend. And we were talking a couple weeks ago about how good it is to get Dayton now, because the last 2 years we get them at the complete end of the conference schedule. You get to see Amanda Cash, you get to see the Flyers in full this weekend. How much will that impact you guys this conference season?
It works. We're just actually right now trying to get out to Dayton. We're looking to switch our flights. Trying to get out there with the bad weather that we've been having. So our first goal is to get to Dayton, and second, obviously, is to beat them.
All right, and lastly, just to key on one player, we're going to have Madie Auginbaugh in a second. She got her Pitcher of the Week award this week, got the win in all 3 of the wins this past weekend, was really putting up some good numbers. What have you seen out of her sophomore performance so far?
I think she already had the experience last year. I think that helped a ton coming in. So she had the experience. She's got after it. She's a competitor. She wants to win. She's going to do what it takes to get her team going. And when she gets on, she's really good.
All right, thanks, Coach. Up next, we got the Maddies Auginbaugh and Shaw. Now I'm joined by Madie Auginbaugh, sophomore pitcher. First of all, congrats on Pitcher of the Week this week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's just talk about individually how you're feeling. You got the win in all 3 of the team's wins this weekend. Obviously, the team as a whole is turning things around, but how have you been feeling in the circle so far?
It's definitely a good confidence boost going into A10 play. We had a rough start, but I think we're finally getting our feet in the dirt and doing good. So.
Definitely have been turning it around, and that's my next question is, obviously, Bridget always gets a very tough out-of-conference schedule, so last year a very senior-heavy team. This year a lot of turnover, a lot of freshmen, a lot of new faces, but having to deal with all that turnaround and that challenging schedule, and then obviously you've been picking it up lately and turning things around. What have you seen from this team in the response from the early portion to now mid-March?
I would definitely say everyone's more comfortable. As you said, we're very, very young, so it's scary getting thrown into the fire. Like UCLA, Cal, Arkansas, Utah, your very first weekend, that's a lot to handle as a freshman. So I think we've bounced back pretty good, and I think we're looking pretty good.
All right, and finally I'm joined by senior Maddie Shaw, team's new shortstop this year. My first question is, it's been already somehow 5 weeks into the season. A lot of turnover, a lot of new faces, and as always, Bridget always packs the non-conference schedule full of tough opposition, which is a daunting task for all the new faces that are coming in to the program this year. But how do you think the team responded to those initial first few weeks? And they've started to pick things up as we head to conference play. What do you think how the team's been responding?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an adjustment for all the new kids coming out and playing the top teams like UCLA, Bama, all those guys. So it's definitely been an eye-opener, I think, for the team as a whole. Just everyone's been moving around, like you just said. I'm now playing shortstop, which I haven't played in like 6 years. So it's definitely everyone's, kind of just rolling with the punches and doing what they have to do for the team. And I think the further we get into the season, people are starting, learn their role and really figure out what they can do to help the team. So from the first weekend out to this weekend now, we've certainly improved a lot.
All right, I won't keep you long. I know you got to get out to practice, but I'll just individually, how do you think you've been performing as your senior season? Obviously coming off a record-setting performance last year. How do you feel right now as we head into conference play?
Definitely confident heading into conference play. I mean, every year that's, what Fordham's known for is, dominating the A10. So I'm certainly ready to get after it. definitely didn't have the start I wanted to this season, but, you know, it's in the past now. I've learned, I've made adjustments at the plate. I've clearly made adjustments in the field, moving around everywhere. So, honestly, I'm just ready to get after it for my last A10s.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this first edition of the Softball Roundup. Thank you to head coach Bridget Orchard, as always, and Maddie's Auginbaugh and Shaw for joining me. The softball team is not in action Wednesday against Iona. It's been rescheduled due to the impending weather for April 10th at Iona. Thursday's game at Stony Brook is a little up in the air, so stick with FordhamSports.com and at Fordham Softball on Twitter for updates on that. And, of course, the Rams start conference play this weekend with a 3-game set at Dayton, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.